Well, everybody, this is a special edition of Love Shreveport Lagniappe. We've got a well, we're saying special guest, but he's definitely not a guest to us in our city. But today is a special edition because there's something very important that we are going to be talking about on today. So I want you to take a moment if you need to share. Invite somebody to get on. We are live on YouTube and on Facebook. We're super excited about it, and this is some critical information that you're going to need to maybe pass on to others, and of course for yourself. So again, we're excited to be able to come on this Thursday, April the 25th. So that we can share this information with you. We're going to jump right into it. Without further ado, I'm not introducing, rather, should I say, just welcoming to the stage our great mayor, Mayor Tom Arceneaux. Mayor, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. So excited to be here with you, Corey.
Well, I am excited that you are part of this special edition today because, as we stated, there's something very important and some information that you're going to be sharing with us today. We've got some questions as relates to the 2024 bond proposal. Before we jump into it, though, we just want to share with everyone that is watching, and we want to say thank you, Mayor, because as you see on the screen, you've done a series of bond proposal meetings that have taken place. And of course, this is right before the last one happens tonight. As you see on the screen, those that are looking, this meeting tour, should I say, started April the 3rd, and it concludes tonight. And so the mayor has just been so kind to get out and share as relates to the bond proposal as he's been in each district. So I wanted to share that first before we got into everything. So, but this weekend is very important, Mayor. We want to jump right in asking the question because if someone just doesn't know what it is, we want you to share with us what is a bond as relates to our city.
Well, the only way that the city is able to construct capital projects, things that are going to last 20 or 30 years, or buy equipment that'll last 20 or 30 years, is to borrow the money to do it. And so when you have a bond proposal, you're authorizing the city to borrow the money and then to levy property taxes in an amount sufficient to pay back the money. So a bond is nothing more than a promissory note, just like your mortgage. You have a mortgage, you have to pay principal and interest every month. With a bond, you typically pay interest every 6 months and principal once a year, but that's called the debt service. And so what these three propositions will do is to authorize the city to borrow money for specific purposes and then to pay back that money through property taxes.
And so what are those specific projects or where this money is trying to be allocated to? What are they? I think we've got a slide here. Is it the
three propositions? You have streets and drainage, $125,100,000, water and sewer for $82 million, and police, fire, and SPAR for $49,300,000. So that's your proposition 1, proposition 2, proposition 3 that'll be on your ballot on Saturday.
Awesome. And so voting is this Saturday, and we'll talk a little bit more about the voting this Saturday. But we want to jump right into a couple of questions that have been frequently asked. Here's question 1 for you, Mayor. If the bond propositions pass, when will work on the projects actually begin?
Well, the first thing we have to do is to sell bonds, and that will the first sale of about a third of whatever is approved, and we're hoping that all three propositions will be approved, but a third of that will be sold in the fall in 2024. So that's the first time that we'll actually have the money for any of the projects. Then projects have to be designed before they're bid, particularly street and drainage projects. So those take a little bit of time. So the first money frequently goes to design, and then we'll go into bid and construction of those projects. The exception to that would probably be some sewer projects, in that we are under a sewer consent decree and we have ongoing engineering and design for some of those sewer issues. And there's significant, there's 35 or 37 million dollars in sewer projects included in this package, and those may be some of the first ones that we're able to get to. The rest of the money will be will be design money, and then we'll allocate money to streets. So I'm hoping that you'll start to see street and drainage work as early as 2025.
Now, I know, Mayor, because I know people are talking about the streets, but there are some specific streets that are not city streets uh, that a lot of people are concerned about. How does that work? Because there's some people concerned about specific streets that is not under your administration.
Right. One of the a number of our streets that we call a city street are actually state highways, and that, for example, that includes Hearn Avenue, it includes a good bit of Lyon Avenue, it includes Uri Drive, it includes East 70th Street, and I know that some of those are in really bad shape, but those are under the jurisdiction and the responsibility of the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development, and so we try and push them, but we also try and ask our legislators to push DOTD to move on those quickly. I've gotten a lot of complaints about Hearn Avenue, and I don't want to undertake to do the state's work, but we're trying to get the state to do it. Another one is Ford Street. We get asked a lot about Ford Street. Ford Street is actually about to be redone. The city had to move its utilities, its water and sewer utilities under Ford Street. We're in the process of doing that, and that should be under construction in late 2024 or early 2025.
Awesome. Next question, Mayor. Will there be a place citizens can go for updates on the progress of the bond projects?
Yes, there are a couple of different things that are going to happen with that. Number one, we'll be issuing at least quarterly reports on all of these projects so the public can follow what is going on. In addition to that, we are creating, actually, you and IT are creating a dashboard so that people can go to particular projects and find out what stage it is. And we're starting that with the projects that were funded by the 2021 bond issue. So you'll have both the 2021 bond issue and the 2024 bond issue that you can actually track, not quite in real time, but on a very frequent basis, in terms of whether there's funding, whether they're in design, whether they've been bid, and whether they're under construction.
Awesome. Now, you mentioned some previous bond. There's a big question that everybody is wanting to know: what work has been done from the previous bond projects?
About 2/3 of the money, there's about $70 million that was approved for public safety in 2021. About 2/3 of those bonds have been sold, and I'll cover why the last third has not been sold. But a lot of that was for police and fire equipment. For example, there's $13 million in fire equipment. We've actually ordered all of that equipment. It just simply has not been delivered yet because of supply chain issues. We also ordered a command center for the police department. That is bought and paid for, but it hasn't been delivered. Those will probably be delivered in 2024 or early 2025. And I can assure you we'll be having a big celebration when those come in so that people will know exactly what's been done. In addition to that, a good bit of work has been done at the Police and Fire Academy on the firing range and the renovation of the auditorium, which were included in that 2021 bond issue. And the Police Command Center is one of the most important pieces of equipment that we have, and it's on order, and we won't get it till 2025.
Now, as relates to the streets, of just kind of getting this in, do we know, is Linwood a state highway, Linwood by Calvary? Because someone's asking about, and I know we see it on here, that there's about 1.4 million in the bond for Lakeshore to Grove to Murtis. But do you know if Linwood is a state highway or a city highway?
I don't know the answer as I sit here, although I think it's a city street.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And there is money in old bond issues. We're still doing work on Linwood, and there's some money in this one for Linwood as well.
Perfect. Now, a lot of people's questions here. The bond proposal, if it's passed, uh, when will or do taxes go up, and when will the taxes actually go up?
This one is one that will eventually result in tax increases, and the way we're going to structure this, there should be no property tax increase in 2024, 2025, or 2026. If you see the graph on the screen, you'll see that the line for total debt service and for debt millage, they stay flat through 2024, 25, and 26. There will be about a 7.68 mil increase in 2027 and a 10.68 mil increase that includes the 7.68. So it's an additional 3 mils that will happen in 2028, so that your property tax will not go up until 2027 and 2028.
So in that, the question is, why does the money have to come from property taxes? Why can't it come from somewhere else?
Well, that is the means that we have to secure our general obligation bonds. The way that works, we actually pledge to pay regardless where the money comes from. The city does not have a savings account where we can simply accrue property taxes until we're able to build a project, and because the voters have to approve the borrowing of the money as well as the repayment of the money from property taxes. That is opposed to trying to do it out of sales taxes. Now, with water and sewer, we could do it with revenue bonds, but revenue bonds require us to raise water and sewer rates. We already had to do that this year, and we're hoping to avoid some future increases in water and sewer rates.
And I'm just getting some information as relates to, as we just kind of jump backwards, Linwood, there's about $500,000 allotted for Linwood. So there's some in the comments section that are asking about Linwood. So there is some money, as Mayor mentioned, allotted for Linwood. So somewhere about $500,000 is allotted for Linwood. All right. So now, here's the next question. The citizens want to know, how can we be sure that the work for these projects will get done if the bond is passed?
Couple of ways. Some are the way that we would do it ordinarily, and then we're adding some additional levels of transparency and accountability in this particular bond issue. We will pass a capital improvements plan that will include specific projects. What we intend to do is to use the projects that are in the handouts that we've been giving out that was the report of the Citizens Capital Improvements Committee to the City Council. That's where these numbers come from, is that report. That's the projects that we intend to do with this money. We're going to create a dashboard so that you can follow that out. But the other important thing is we're going to be hiring program managers for both the water and sewer work and the street work, and at least some of the public buildings work. These will be outside contractors whose job it is to hold our feet to the fire, to make sure, and to hold the contractors' feet to the fire, to make sure that the work is done in a timely manner. So that's an additional step. It's an additional cost, but it is well worth it. We think we'll save money in inflation, in avoiding inflation by doing these projects more quickly with the program manager.
And we just want to make reference to those that are wanting to keep up with all of the bond, everything. You can go for more information. You can go to www.bond.shreveportla.gov. It's at the bottom of your screen. Again, www.bond.shreveportla.gov. We will periodically put that up so that you can keep that in the forefront, and then you'll know where to go to kind of keep up with some progress. So next question, Mayor, who will be managing the projects and their progress?
That's really kind of a dual question. The first group will be the program managers, and they may end up being program managers at risk. That's a particular term of art that puts them at risk for managing the contracts. In addition to that, there will be city project managers whose job it is to move these along. But the additional level of supervision is the project manager, the program manager, who will be making sure that we move all of these projects along as we sell the bonds.
Awesome. Now, again, if you're watching us right now live on YouTube and on Facebook, if you're just joining us, we've got our Mayor Tom Arceneaux, as he is sharing really, really critical, important information as relates to the 2024 bond proposal. And we're going to be sharing again this Saturday is voting day. If you have not already early voted, and of course, we're going to be sharing again how you can go on the website again, how you can check as relates to the bonds. And while we're on, if you've got some questions that you may want to ask, you can drop them in the comment section, and we'll try to get to your questions as well as we move right along. So next question, Mayor, how are you choosing, and you may have hinted on this earlier, but how are you choosing what projects to begin first?
Well, we will, of course, try to pick projects that are what we call shovel ready, meaning they've already been designed and they're ready once the money is in. Most of that is going to be in the sewer and perhaps water and sewer area, because that's where the engineering has been done. The rest of the projects, we don't design a project for bid. When we bid a project, it gives minute details of what needs to be done so that we can verify that the work's been done in accordance with the specifications. So it takes some time after the bond sale to do design. So probably the first set of funds that are available, a lot of that is going to go into design, so that then we can move forward with streets and drainage in particular, and we'll have to make priority decisions on those, and we hope that they'll be based on the greatest need for those streets and drainage projects.
So, in this bond proposal, will any of the contracts be done by Shreveport businesses, or will you hire from outside of the city?
Well, we certainly hope as many as possible will be done by local businesses, but all of these projects are going to be in the amount that we have to do a public bid. So we'll have to take the lowest responsible bidder, but we want to encourage as many local companies to bid. One of the things that's good about this particular set of projects is there are a number of smaller projects, not $12, $20 million projects, although there are some of those. But there are some smaller projects that we believe local contractors will have a better opportunity to bid on.
And so, with that, I know we talked about the project manager. There's a question: what is the project manager's role, and who will he or she report to?
The program manager will report to the mayor and the CAO, with some supervision from the engineers. And their role is to make sure that the projects move along and are constructed in accordance with the specifications.
And how does that project manager, how are they appointed, or do people put in for this, or do you guys do a vote for someone? How does that work?
We'll do requests for proposals, and then we have a standing committee called the Architects and Engineers Recommendation Committee, and they'll make recommendations. Ultimately, most of those decisions will be made by me based on input from the Architects and Engineers Committee.
Awesome. Now, again, those of you that are following us, this information has been given out on our social media handles. We definitely want to just take a moment and make sure that each of you are connected with us on social media, because the digital media team is putting a lot of this information so that you can get it. Even when the mayor, as we started earlier, mentioned that he's held some meetings in different districts, and we just wanted you to make sure that you were connected with our social media pages. Of course, on Facebook, many of you are on right now on Facebook, City of Shreveport Government. It is verified with a blue check. Of course, on X at Love Shreveport. And then on Instagram and Threads at Love Shreveport, it is verified with a blue check as well. So we definitely want to make sure each of you are following us on these platforms so that you can get information when it is given out to each of you. So again, we appreciate all of you for even joining us today. Make sure you share, hit the share button, because again, we want everybody to know the pertinent information. We want you to know from our mayor, from the head of our city, what's going on, and we want you to know, get all this information so that you can make go out and vote on this Saturday. Mayor, anything else that you'd like to share as relates to the bond?
I think it's very important for the public to know that the only way that we have to make these improvements to our infrastructure, and as I go from place to place in the city, I get lots of complaints about the condition of our infrastructure. The only way we have to do this is through bond propositions. If we don't have this, the amount of money that is likely to be available will be some small amounts of money that we receive, which is way inadequate to do the kind of work that needs to be done in the city of Shreveport. But what we're hoping is that each person will take a look at this and will go vote on Saturday. I personally am asking people to vote yes. And so I'd like to see you vote yes on Proposition 1, Proposition 2, and Proposition 3. But please go vote, educate yourself, and make a fair decision and based on the information, and then go cast your vote on Saturday.
And again, everybody, the voting is this Saturday, April the 27th. And of course, we definitely want you to go out and vote. Go vote 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. You can go to the polls, vote, because this is important. And of course, beautification of our city. You can definitely go and cast your vote this Saturday. Mayor, and we definitely appreciate, one, your time. We thank you for sharing this information with the public. And, the public, we just want you to know we trust our mayor to get it done. And the fact that he's been out, and I want to share this again because we started a proposal meeting on April the 3rd. Tonight, if you need more information, those that live in District B, tonight at 5:30, the mayor will be at the Highland Center, and he's going to be sharing the entire presentation as relates to the bond. And if you're in District B, come on out and get this information from the mayor. And then, of course, you don't have to live in District B, but if you want to come out and you want to get this information so that you'll be well prepared when you go out and vote Saturday, you're going to get a more intense version of what we've been talking about on today. So, Mayor, we appreciate you. I mean, they're commenting. Again, people saying come out tonight. As you can see here, Mayor, this is incredible. Everyone, let's go vote. They've got, people are with this. And again, it's for the beautification of our city. So, Mayor, we want to say thank you so much for being a part of this special edition of Love Shreveport Lagniappe and sharing all this information that you have shared.
It's my pleasure and honor, and it's my honor to serve as your mayor.
Thank you so much, Mayor. And listen, everyone that is on, we thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to share this video. Why? Because there may be somebody that did not have a chance to get in and get this information, but just your share. I mean, you're still commenting yes for the bond. We appreciate you. See you there. The Elite Corporation, they're coming tonight to be a part. Thank you so much. Great job. They're saying great job, Mayor and digital media and myself. We appreciate you. But of course, we just want you to come out and be a part. So again, share this video. You're on Facebook. Be sure to share it so that others can go back and watch and get the information from the answered questions that our mayor have answered on today. And don't forget to stay connected with us. I'm putting this back on the screen so that you can stay connected with us on social media, City of Shreveport Government. That's on Facebook, verified with a blue check. X, which was formerly known as Twitter, at Love Shreveport 1. Right here on YouTube as well. If you haven't liked and subscribed, we want you to do that. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And then, of course, on Instagram and Threads, at Love Shreveport. They are verified with a blue check as well. We appreciate all of you for commenting and being just positive. We appreciate all of you, man. There's some great things happening in our city, and we, again, are so excited for our mayor and staff, Mayor Tom Arceneaux. Well, that's all we have for you as relates to the bond issue here today. Don't forget to come out tonight if you need to and get more detailed information as relates to the bond. Thank you so much for your time, and have a great rest of your day. Take care now. Bye-bye then.